Okay, so I want to talk to you about something today that I've actually had a lot of fear talking about, and I mean, heck, we've probably taken 27 shots on this, Luke. You think? I mean, I've posted it twice and pulled it, but that's just because I want to get you the information the proper way. And the reason I'm afraid to talk about this today is the fear and the apprehension for me is because what I'm about to tell you would probably be considered very unacceptable to the professional grooming industry. And since I'm a professional groomer, right, and I've had a pretty successful business since 2011, I understand my apprehension. Because what I want to talk to you today about is flea shampoos. And the reason I want to talk to you about flea shampoos is because every professional groomer at every professional grooming salon is going to use them, except for me. But that is because I know of a really super safe, totally, what would you call it? I mean, totally harmless and 100% safe alternative that my beloved vet taught me when I first started grooming many, many years ago. So I want to share it with you. I want to talk to you. The first thing I want to talk to you about with flea shampoos is how they work, what their side effects are, and how effective are they. So the way that flea shampoos work, all of them have to use an insecticide to kill the fleas. And so that insecticide unfortunately affects the neurological system of the dog. And so you may or may not see side effects, but it's possible, and you'll generally see some kind of mild side effects. And those, because it's on the neurological system, you're going to see watery eyes, runny nose, excessive licking, swallowing a lot, extra saliva, a lot of drooling, and things can get worse from there. And you know, even if you never saw any of those side effects at all, these shampoos, these flea shampoos, take 3 to 5 minutes to work. So for 3 to 5 minutes, no matter what, you can be guaranteed on this, if you never see a side effect at all, for 3 to 5 minutes, that little dog or big dog is being assaulted by those fleas, biting to death. I mean, they're biting for their life. So, and then it also has a repellent in it, by the way, these shampoos do. So the fleas are trying to escape also, any of them that are living, because some do survive. And the ones that survive, that get away, now they've built a tolerance to this, right? So the reason I'm telling you about this is because back when I first started grooming in 2011, we had a epidemic here in St. Louis of fleas. The weather kept changing back and forth, and the fleas kept just rehatching. It was insane. So we had probably a month long of just a cycle of fleas, endless fleas, coming through my shop, right? At the time I was in a shop instead of a mobile. And so I noticed mild side effects every time I would use these shampoos, because that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to use flea shampoos. So that's what I did. And I would notice mild side effects. And it always bothered me a little bit, but I didn't know any other alternative. I had no other option that I knew of. So one time in particular, though, there was a little dog in my tub, and the side effects started, right? That little dog first started the watering that I'm telling you about, and then the drooling, which is pretty common, right? That was pretty common. Maybe they're made a little safer now, these shampoos, but that was pretty common. So what happened, though, I started getting nervous because the little dog started tensing up, and I thought, well, I haven't seen that reaction before. And so I rinsed the shampoo off, but it didn't stop, right? It wasn't stopping. That residue was still on the skin. And so conditions kept getting worse until I was very, very worried for that little dog, right? This is not even my dog. This is a customer's dog. So I called my vet, my beloved vet, and this is what he said to me. He first of all told me all about those flea shampoos, everything I just shared with you. And he said to me, there's no point, first of all, ever to leave a residue, because all they do is repel the fleas. So the residue left on the skin is only repelling fleas, Imagine those fleas are sitting back just waiting for the next attack. That's all. They're just sitting around waiting. So it's done no good. What he said to me was, he said, Angie, always just use Dawn. He said, in fact, he said, do you have Dawn in your shop? And it just so happened I did, because I love Dawn. I use it on I use it on my dishes, on grease jobs, they use it on baby ducks to get the grease off from oil spills from the Exxon Valdez. And so he said, use that and wash that little dog off in Dawn. And then he said, on top of that, always use Dawn. Eliminate your flea shampoos. Get rid of them. Get rid of them, because Dawn kills fleas on contact, and it's the only one that actually works like that. So all soaps, this is how Dawn works. I want to now tell you how Dawn works, what its side effects are, and how effective it is. Because like I told you, it is super safe. Dawn works with a succulent. I mean a succulent, not a succulent, a surfactant. And surfactants, all soaps have them, but Dawn has a special one that it literally, it drowns the flea on contact. So instantly this surfactant gets on that flea and it's dead. So there's no dodging it. There's no, there's no odor to it, right? So the flea doesn't try to run, escape. There's no residue. There's no repellent. There's no anything. So this is why it's super safe. I also told you that it is totally harmless, because it is. There's no pesticides. Dawn is completely harmless. And I also told you that it's 100% effective, and that is because as long as you get that Dawn on that body of that dog, anywhere that Dawn touches, including in the water where it's floating in the water, will kill a flea on contact. So no longer does that dog have to suffer for 3 to 5 minutes, no matter what, right? And when I'm thinking about the little dog here, or the big dog, I love them dogs. So what I want to show you then is how to mix Dawn up. Because, you know, if you do have the option, if you groom your own dog, or you're a dog owner, right? Or you have your own shop and you can make this choice, this educated choice. You can look all this up, everything I'm telling you. It's all out there. I did my research before I ever put this on here. Like I said, we've really been involved in this video, so we'd get it out here to you right. So I want to show you how to mix up Dawn. Because, seriously, this is, okay, so always use your full strength Dawn. Don't use the one that's already diluted. Just use full strength Dawn. I keep a little bottle on board because that's all I ever need. You know, you don't come across fleas that often, so it's not that big of an issue. But when you do, you really would like them all to be dead on contact. So this is how much Dawn it takes. Very little amount. And I'm just going to add the water to it. And then it's just a dilution, just like you do all your shampoos and conditioners. Add my water. Thank you, Luke, so much for helping me videotape this one final time so we can get it out here just right. So it makes sense to everybody why I want to show you this. Because, of course, I don't get anything for I don't get promotive anything. You know, I'm just sharing something with you that's really vital. Go ahead and give it an easy, gentle, because this stuff really suds us up. And then I'm going to tell you, this will last you through a year if you don't see fleas that often, because it doesn't take much of it. I can squirt it into a loofah. Okay, I can put it on a loofah. I'm going to show you just because I'm going to do this. I don't really want to waste this, but I don't want to use it either and make a bunch of suds. This is about how much Dawn you're going to use. Here. About that, no kidding. So look at what's left in this bottle. If you need more, use more. The only way that this becomes ineffective is if it runs out of suds, right? So you just pour more and get more suds. You can use this in your recirculator. You can use this on a loofah, or you can use this directly on the dog. As long as you get every single iota of that dog, which means in between toes, around ears, check the eyes, you know, because fleas are going to run, especially toward the back end. And so just keep this in your shop or on board or wherever so that you can use Dawn, because I can tell you, when it comes to dogs for my customers, and I've educated them all, when it comes to my dogs for my customers, and Fleas, I'm using Dawn because it is safe, it is harmless, and it is 100% effective. So I hope you like this. I'm putting this out there for the last time. This is it. I'm actually going to post this today. We're going to post it, Luke.